Alright, John Oakes here with Hankster's Hot Rods here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania location. And today in our showroom we're going to be going over the newest addition to our inventory, this being a 1987 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS. Now it seems to be that these cars are actually, they're gaining a lot of interest as of right now, popularity. Maybe it's because some of the 60s stuff and 70s is going kind of, getting hard to find. So this would be kind of the next step up here, to get involved in one of these cars. But again, super nice condition on this car. As we go around, you'll see that while we point out all the things that we've got here. So obviously our Monte Carlo SS done here all in the black. As you can see, it's got like the orange to red, the SS decals, the package the whole way around on the car just as it would have come from the factory. We don't have to really go over too much of bright work on this car because, again, these cars don't have the chrome bumpers, the wheel trim, moldings, any of that stuff. But what ours does have, obviously, as you can see, is it's got the 15-inch factory aluminum Monte Carlo SS wheels. And on those wheels, we've got some Firestone Firehawk Indy 500 tires. I believe the size on these was 215, 65, 15s, and that's all four of them there. And the tread's all great on these, so again, that makes rotating tires and so forth a whole lot easier for the customer that wants to buy this car. As we come back along the side, again, as far as the panel fitment and finish and so forth, again, back in the 80s, this is exactly how this car would have come. So you see the gaps on the front side and on the back side of the door. For this car, very uniform. As far as the alignment, the elevation on those panels, when you look at the front fenders and you look at the quarters in comparison to the doors, everything lines right up very nicely. All body lines line up too. Now our car has dual mirrors on it, and I'm going to say, let me just look inside. While I got the door open, we can take a look. It does have a remote mirror on it, so you'll be able to adjust that from the interior of the car. Now inside, this is your factory interior. So you can see kind of the burgundy or maroon, I guess, cloth interior there. The seat upholstery is in really good shape for an 87. It's got the headrests on the front bucket seats there. All the seat belts are there. You got the factory dash and factory instrumentation. All gauges are working. You do have an aftermarket, looks like AM, FM, possibly CD player there. Factory center console, automatic shifter on the floor, and of course you've got the factory heater and AC controls in there. Now as far as the seals and so forth on the door, I will tell you this. All of our door weather stripping here is all brand new, so it's going to seal up very, very well. The only issue is when you shut the doors, they sometimes will be a little hard to close just because they are brand new, but they do close just fine. Again, as far as your drip rail moldings, again, you see everything here is all painted to match the color of the car. And again, everything's nice and smooth in those rain gutters, so all of that is in good condition. As far as the glass is in great shape too. There's no chips or cracks on any of the glass. It is slightly tinted here on the sides. Even that little quarter window, it's in good condition too. And again, right there, you see door shut just fine. So as we come back along the side of the car, again, all the panels nice and straight on this car. And we'll get to the rear of the car here. So when we come back here, of course, with the Monte Carlo SS's, you do have this small trunk spoiler here right off the rear of the trunk. The trunk itself is in good shape. You can see the gaps and elevations the whole way around on it. You can see your rear window, all of the black trim and molding around it, and this does have the rear defroster in it along with your third brake light. So all of that functioning just well too, and again the glass, no chips or cracks. As we look at the as the trunk lid comes down around the side or the bottom here, you can see that it's in good shape. Fits real nice right tight up against your taillight lenses here. Those lenses are in good condition too. The front bumpers, again, those are your painted bumpers with the striping, and those are all in good shape. Now let's go ahead and open up our trunk. First off, the key does work. Trunk is up, the hinges and springs are all working, as you can see, holding up that trunk lid just fine on their own. All of your rubber bump stops are all in place where they should be. The trunk weather stripping the whole way around, nice and soft the whole way around. That is going to seal up great. You've got your trunk mat in here too, and the floor, just find a spot here. If we peel that back, you can see the floor is in great shape on this. You even have the jack and the spare tire in there. Again, it's one of those you would call, I guess, the space saver spare tires there. Again, it's just in case of an emergency, but anyways, it is there in case you would need that. So we'll close this up. Again, that shuts nice and easy. And over to the passenger side again, just, you know, all the same stuff. All of your decal work you can see as it goes the whole way around the car. Wheels, tires, we've already been over. Now we're at the passenger side door where we can look at the gaps on both the back and the front. Again, very uniform. As I already mentioned, we've got both mirrors, so you see the mirror over here. Again, painted, it's in great shape. The glass on that is in great shape too. Same thing with the door glass here, both the quarter window and the door glass. This is all in good shape, tinted, no cracks, no chips whatsoever. Let's go ahead and open up from this side now. And that's just so you can see it from both sides. Again, the upholstery in this car, very nice for an 87. No rips or tears. The carpeting, no rips or tears there. It actually is in pretty good shape for an 87. Even the back seat, you can see that that's all in good shape, headliner and all. Your dash itself, there's no cracks in any of the dash. Like I said, this is factory dash, factory instrumentation, factory center console too. So all of that for an 87 in really nice condition. Close that up. Again, that door shuts nice and easy. We come around now. Like I said, no need to go over anything else here. We just come up to the front end here. Again, we've got the painted whole front fascia here, the bumper and everything. Grill's in great shape. You've got the quad headlights over here. You've got both your low beam, high beam, sealed beam units, no cracks or chips in any of those glass lenses. Like I said, the grill's intact, no pieces broken. Down below, you've got the little bit of your ground effects down here that come off the lower valance there. Those are all in good shape. As you can see, they're not skinned up or anything from hitting anything. They look in really good shape. As far as the hood goes, this is your stock steel hood. Gaps on that the whole way around, and elevations are all dead on this car. You've got your windshield here too, no chips or cracks there. All the molding around her, that's in great shape too. Now we'll go underneath the hood. I'm going to look inside here. I'm sure we probably got a hood latch in here, and we do. So let's pull that. The hood latch works, as you can see. And then we'll open this up and we'll talk about the driveline on the car. So with the hood up, first thing you can see is the factory hood insulation all underneath here. Again, still in pretty good condition. Again, this is the original stuff here. What you don't see is any pieces hanging down or, you know, falling off of the car. It's all tacked up as it should be and all in one piece. As far as the engine goes, this is the original numbers match motor for this car. It is a 305 high output small block Chevrolet engine. Again, as we know, these cars weren't, big power monsters out there, but they were good running, good reliable cars out there. And again, you had the sporty look of the Monte Carlo SS too. Now, as far as this motor goes, again, there's nothing kind of out of the ordinary with it. You've got your factory air conditioning components all right here, all hooked up and all functioning. You've got power brakes, which are disc brakes on the front, drum brakes on the rear, along with the parking or emergency brake all hooked up and functional. Stock radiator, it's got the shroud on it with the clutch fan assembly on there as well. It is a power steering car also. And again, like I said, this motor, nothing out of the ordinary. It's got the stock OEM air cleaner on it with all of the air inlets to it there also. And then as far as the exhaust work goes on it, you just have cast exhaust manifolds. It does have, obviously, you've got the two pipes coming off the exhaust manifolds. Those wide down into one single catalytic converter, and then they wide back out again to a set of dual mufflers and dual tailpipes on the car. As far as the ignition system goes, It is, you know, stock ignition system here for the car. All of your air conditioning and heater components and hoses and lines all hooked up, free of any kind of leaks or drips that I can see. Radiator hoses all look fairly new on the car too, and those are leak free as well. So that's the engine. All right, so we got our 87 Monte Carlo SS here up on the lift. We're going to go through the underside. Now this car, again, these cars here, all of these Monte Carlos and the Olds, Cutlasses and so forth, not a whole lot to go over really that's special underneath here. It's just all factory, you know, suspension, steering, braking, stuff like that, unless there was something heavily modified on them, which there isn't on this vehicle. But we'll go through it anyways, let you know exactly what we've got underneath here. So starting with the front suspension, obviously, front cross member is all stock. Upper and lower control arms, those are all stock stamped steel components also. Ball joints and everything looks good. Bushings here at the frame mounts, those all look good too. In combination with the front suspension, obviously we've got the big heavy duty front sway bar on these Monte Carlos. That's going to help with cornering. Again, frame bushings are in great shape. Sway bar and link bushings, those are in good shape too. Steering, it is power steering car. And everything, all of the steering arms are to the front side here of your control arms. So it's a little hard to see, but the tie rods, those are all straight. The tie rod ends, those are all in great shape. The rubber dust boot covers are all on all of the ball joints. And you can tell everything has been greased and maintained very regularly on the car here. So as far as the wear goes, should be in really good shape on this car. Again, you've got, you know, the drag link, your pitman arm, all of that stuff all looks to be greased very well. Now, as far as brakes on this car, it is power brakes as well. Disc brakes up front, drum brakes out on the rear of the car. So again, these cars always stop really good too. Plus the fact that on the rear drum brakes, we do have all the cables and everything all hooked up for the parking brake, and it is functional. Now, as far as if we go to the very outer edges here of the car and go over wheels and tires, again, nothing special here other than the fact that these are the factory aluminum Monte Carlo SS wheels. They are 15-inch wheels, and as far as the tires go, real nice tires on this car. They are Firestone Firehawk Indy 500s, and the size on those are 215 65 R15s on all four corners. So when it comes to rotating tires, very easy to do on this car. You don't have to worry about swapping tire sizes or anything. You just go front to back on it. And again, tread on this thing is in great shape. If we come in a little further now to the center of the car, we'll go ahead and talk about our driveline next. So as far as the driveline goes, we've got the 305 high output motor here, the Chevy V8. We've got the 204R automatic transmission. It is an overdrive transmission. It's got the flywheel cover on it, so no dirt and debris can come in and possibly chip a tooth off of that flywheel. Now when I'm looking at the transmission pan as well as the pan on that motor, everything is nice and dry, free from any leaks or drips that we can see. Back a little further, transmission cross member, it's in good shape. The actual mount itself for the tail shaft of the transmission is in good condition too. As far as the drive shaft, no problems there either. It is a balanced drive shaft, so that's going to help eliminate any kind of vibrations you might have in the drive line. Then as far as the rear end goes, the rear end itself is a GM 10 bolt. It does have a 373 gear in it with a POSI unit and that third member assembly. As you can see for the suspension, it's your metric 4-link here, which is all stock and in good condition, all the bushings and so forth. Plus, it's got the rear sway bar on the car too. So, car's going to hug the corners really, really well for you. We've already been over wheels and tires, and we've already been over the fact it's got drum brakes with the parking brake all hooked up on the back. Now, when we come back a little further, fuel tank itself is in good shape, stock fuel tank, no dents or dings, and all your mounting hardware, the straps, bolts, etc. Those are all in good shape too on the car. The frame and the floors, the frame on this car, full frame car, all in nice shape, nice and straight all the way down both sides, good and square. All of your brake lines and fuel lines are run right up inside those frame rails to keep them up out of the way. Those all look good. As far as the floors go on the car, I'm looking here and I don't see any patching whatsoever on the floors here. They all look good. They've got a little bit of undercoating on them, but again, probably factory undercoating on this car to help, you know, protect it from some of the outside elements. Again, you can see all the stamping lines and so forth in it, so you know that it's all the correct metal for the car. And as far as the exhaust system goes on the car, well, obviously we've got exhaust manifolds on the car here. You've got the dual pipes that come off, obviously one off each manifold. Those wide down into one single catalytic converter, and then they come out and wide back out into two pipes, two mufflers. We've got probably like a turbo style muffler here, and then of course the dual tailpipes that go straight out and exit right out underneath the bumper, the rear bumper on the car. Like I said, frame, floors, everything all look good. Pinch welds, rockers, again, all nice and straight and good and solid the whole way down the sides of the car. So that's pretty much the complete underside of our 87 Monte Carlo SS.